It's the K.L.P. Aftermath.
Get ready.
What's up, y'all? This is Nicki Minaj.
Yo, what's cracking like this? Big Snoop Deal Double G.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy J.
Radio.
We're taking over the radio.
You're locked in with
K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas.
It's going down. It's crazy.
What's up, y'all? This is Beyonce, and you're listening to my station.
Powered by the Core 94.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting podcast here today. This is the K.L.P. Aftermath with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. Welcome back to another exciting podcast live from our studios here of FX Studios of Atlanta at K.L.P. Entertainment Studio. And ladies and gentlemen, we are officially back. Hopefully you guys have had a fantastic, and I do mean this, a fantastic weekend. I know we've had quite a few things that happened this weekend, and I cannot wait to tell you guys all about it. Of course, hence the purpose of the podcast. We have so much we wanted to talk about and give shout outs. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, Tyrus, congratulations, man. He's in the studio. The new series is now available. Of course, Street Fighter, the K.L.P. Entertainment mini-series is finally here. You can see the pilot episode right now on YouTube, Daily Motion, and on our streaming services, StreamX, available right now. First episode, pilot episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy the new style of it. Of course, we had so many people reach out. So many people enjoyed the show thus far. So I really do hope that you guys check it out. We have many, many more episodes to come up for within the next couple of weeks for the series. So Tyrus, man, congratulations. We did it, of course, with Dream World Entertainment, a K.L.P. Entertainment Studio, and also Millennium Studios, also a K.L.P. Entertainment Studio for sure. So congratulations, man. I'm over the moon with your show. That team is doing some really good things for us here at K.L.P. Entertainment. I'm so happy that finally, he's finally coming back into the directing style of it. And more news announcements coming from our record label, music department, Swanky Records, of course. If you guys didn't see or hear, listen to the newest album yet, what are you waiting for? Interstellar Plus Coffee is now available on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, Shazam, Pandora, and so much more. As we get ready for next Tuesday, of course, my new album, Black vs. White, coming out Tuesday, March 1st. And I'm super, super excited for it for sure. And of course, we have so many great things coming up when it comes to us traveling to New York. Of course, K.L.P. Entertainment and K.L.P. Aftermath, the podcast will be in New York for the tour, for the K.L.P. Aftermath, a New York tour. And we have so many things. One in particular project that we're working on besides the documentary, we're going to announce it this week. So stay tuned for that because it's going to be exciting. I cannot wait until I share it on Instagram and social media. It's a new project coming from Swanky Records. That's all I can say. Coming soon for sure. Coming soon for sure. Now, let's get on to the topic of conversation. And of course, I have to talk about this because this happened to us yesterday. If you guys know, when I go out, and I like to really go out in the city of Atlanta and go to different places and really enjoy my time. So we did that this past Saturday, went out, and I thought it'd be interesting for Monday's episode. I tell you guys about what we did on Sunday, yesterday, and I'm very excited to talk about it because it's been very, very fantastic. If you guys didn't follow me yet on Instagram, what are you waiting for? You should have been following me on Instagram, but it's Kennedy Lucas K.L.P. You guys get to see all the exclusive that we're doing all over on social media. We did go to the High Museum of Arts in downtown Atlanta. It was a fantastic exhibit. We've been there many, many times before, so I can't say that this was my first time. I can't say that this is the first time I'm going to the High Museum. This has got to be my fifth time going to the High Museum. If you guys don't know a little bit about me, I'm artsy. You know, I'm an artist myself, so I really like the style of going to see art, to see these different artists, these different creators, and they have their exhibits at the museums. It's fantastic. And of course, we went there, and of course, they opened up the brand new, the Valmos Portraits exhibit available at the High Museum of Arts in Atlanta. If you guys want to check that out, I recommend you guys check that out. You do have to pay a little bit extra to get access to that exhibit. And I wanted to kind of talk about that because it kind of, I don't know. I love the Obamas, right? I love the Obamas, right? He was my president. He was my favorite president of them all. But for them to charge a little extra more for the Obama's Portraits exhibit at the High Museum, I think that's kind of steep, honestly. I honestly think they should have added that into the admissions because tickets are not that expensive, right? When you go to the High Museum, you're spending about $17 a ticket to get into the museum, and that's reasonable price, right? It's almost $20, so reasonable price. I am glad that museums don't cost $30, $40, $50. If you're going to an exclusive museum, maybe they'll have those prices, but at the High Museum of Arts, you're paying a good $17 for the admissions, and then you pay a little extra just to see the Obama portrait exhibit. I honestly, and I really do hope the High Museum is watching or listening to the show, because I honestly think they shouldn't charge extra for the Obama portrait exhibit. I get it. Well, maybe, and I'd say this to my friends with my friends that I went with yesterday, but I mean, they got a point. They say they get it. I said I get it, but then they was like, yeah, I don't get it, Kenny. They shouldn't charge for that, and I agree with them. They really should charge extra for that because I think it's just two portraits. I don't know. I didn't really go to the exhibit because I just wasn't going to pay extra money because we were going out to eat too. I just didn't want to pay that extra money just to see two portraits. I'm sure that they are available online if you Google them. They may not be like 100% there in HD quality, but I don't know. I don't understand how and it's business, and I understand the High Museum start of it because it's the Obamas, right? A very impactful family, obviously, one of the best presidents we've had in centuries, honestly. So I understand the business side of it. They say, okay, it's the Obamas, so we're going to charge more, and people are going to pay extra for that, and then that's how we get our money up for the High Museum and our investors. So it's the corporate side of things. It's a bit unfortunate that they're up in the price when it comes to that kind of exhibit, but I guess businesses got to make their money. They got to pay their employees. The employees got to pay their bills. So I understand from the business perspective of it because I am a businessman myself, and here at K.L.P Entertainment, obviously we do business decisions that's financially impactful for our business. So I do understand the business side of it, but do I think that they should have charged extra for that exhibit? No. I think it's a little bit unfair for the average Joe Schmo that's just trying to get an average admission. So I took a picture of the sign that says the Obama Portrait Exhibit Tour, but along with my friends and my two sisters, they went there too. We didn't pay extra for the Obama exhibit because, we were going out to eat and we were just doing our own thing afterwards. So, we do things, but we ball on the budget, if you know what I mean. So when you ever just go out there and you have a great time, you like to ball on the budget. And that's one thing I like to do when I'm out in the city of Atlanta, in town, doing my thing. We ball on a budget. So we end up not going to that, but I do recommend for all of you folks who haven't been to the High Museum of Arts in Atlanta, that is a must-see place to go to. Again, it was my fifth time going to the High Museum, so I've been there so many times. They do change things up. I've noticed a lot of new artwork that they changed since the last time I went. So they changed some things, and obviously they just imported the Obama Portraits exhibit as well. So it's a lot of things that they have changed to the High Museum. So I do like it that they're doing change. It's always good for museums to change things up so that way you're not going to see the same old, and it's not old, but the same old exhibit over and over and over again. You've seen it once, then that's all you really need to do is just to see it once. So it's just one of those things that happens, but it's out there, and I really recommend you guys going out there for the High Museum of Arts and take advantage of that parking. Some places they charge you $10 for the parking. Some places they charge you $18 for the parking. So it just depends on where you park, but make sure you find a good place to park. When we got done with the High Museum of Arts, shout out to, of course, this food truck. Actually, it's called the Cafe Bourbon Street. If you guys don't know, there's a lot of food truck places around Atlanta, and this was the first time that I'm eating at a food truck. There's been some all over, of course, Atlanta. I know Waffle House goes to Georgia Gwinnett College sometimes, and now we went to a legit place to where Cafe Bourbon Street was held. It was on I want to say that we were on the west side of Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was the west side. And of course, if you guys don't know about Cafe Bourbon Street, is a food truck restaurant that is homegrown for the Black community. Of course, that is a Black-owned business. I love it when I go to places and it's Black-owned, because if you guys don't know, with our radio stations of Swanky 93.3 and Emory 94.6, we are a Black-owned business. So I'm always an advocate. I'm always excited to support another Black-owned business, being Cafe Bourbon Street. Of course, their origin comes from obviously Bourbon Street in Louisiana. Of course, New Orleans. So I've been to New Orleans. I've been to Bourbon Street. I know the vibe. I know the culture of it. Hopefully I get to go back one day to New Orleans, because I had a swanky time when I went that one time. But Cafe Bourbon Street, they do all Cajun food. Of course, they have the shrimp po' boy. They have the nice smoky hickory, barbecue wings, the Cajun shrimp basket. And that was the meal that I got, was the Cajun shrimp basket, simply because they ran out of the po' boy. Of course, it was a long line, right? Because they're a famous restaurant food truck. So a lot of people were lined up to get the po' boy. And when we got there, unfortunately, they ran out of the po' boy. So I had to get the Cajun shrimp basket. And it was great. It was very good. I ate it because I was starving after the High Museum. A little tidbit, and this is a review, because I gotta be honest here, T. I know I'm a bit of a foodie and I'm a food critic a little bit, and I gotta give my critiques. Cafe Bourbon Street, I hope you're listening to this. It was just my little critique, and a lot of people may disagree with me, and that's fine. It's just my opinion. The shrimp, you got to make your shrimp a little bit harder, make it a little bit more crunchier. I'm used to eating shrimp that has a little bit of a crunch to it. Like for an example, I can't really compare, because you have Cafe Bourbon Street, which is a food truck franchise, and then you have Papa Do's. That's a fully fancy restaurant. When you go to Papa Do's, I taste the crunchiness of the shrimp. Cafe Bourbon Street, the shrimp was cooked really well. It just wasn't crunchy enough. So just a little tidbit for Cafe Bourbon Street. It's the food was good. The Cajun fries was good. The ranch was good. The hickory barbecue sauce was excellent. And the customer service was really good. There was a young lady there, and I say young very, very loosely, because she probably looked like she was my age. But she was getting people's orders. She was very, very nice about it. She performed great customer service, and that's always, to me, that's always a top notch. That's why I'm giving Cafe Bourbon Street just such a great review, because the food was excellent, minus them being out of the shrimp po' boy. But hey, when they're out, they're out. I get it. The young lady that was there taking people's orders, making sure everyone stayed calm. And, it took a second, right? Because there was a long line. It's a food truck, so they can only do so many meals at a time at a food truck. But the customer service was there. It was very, very nice. The pricing wasn't too bad. I think I paid about $19 for this shrimp basket, because shrimp is a little bit more expensive. Seafood is a little bit more expensive. And Cajun fries that came along with it, and a bottle of water. So Cafe Bourbon Street, if you guys don't know about it, please go check it out. The environment there, and I'll probably link it in the description below, because I don't know the actual address to it, but there is Cafe Bourbon Street, and then like 6 other food trucks around. So it kind of gives you kind of like a family cookout kind of vibe to it. The parking is okay, parking is parking, but it kind of gives you a cookout style to it. I do say, if you guys go to Cafe Bourbon Street in that area of other food trucks, be sure to wear a mask, because there's a lot of people that didn't wear masks, but we were outside, and it's not a mandate here in Georgia, but I remain my mask on, because I'm a very cautious person. I don't want to be surrounded with someone who might be COVID positive, because a lot of people come out and they say that they're negative, but how do you really know that they're negative unless you catch it? So I do say, if you go to Cafe Bourbon Street on the West Atlanta, where there's other food trucks around that area, stay protected. I did practice social distancing, and you just stay your distance there. But I do recommend people going out there, because it's that homey vibe, is that cookout vibe that you'll get from it. And this was my first experience at a food truck venue. So that was quite exciting to start new things. And I do recommend that you guys check that out. Of course, Cafe Bourbon Street, your shout out on today's show. You were scrumptious. And I really do hope that you travel around different areas of Atlanta because you got something there. You got something there. Of course, we're going to give another shout out here on today's special podcast episode. Not really so special. I mean, we're live. We're here. We're talking. But, we didn't name this a special podcast. But shout out to Ox Lifts. You guys know I do work out, and I did do a workout session today at Crunch in Snellville, and I did a post and shouted out Oxlift. Of course, this past Saturday, they had their first Oxlift event, of course, helping students get healthy at Emory University, and they're out there. They're doing it really well. They're barely new RSO, so I really do hope you guys follow them on the gram. Of course, it's Oxlift. I believe it's all one word, Oxlifts. And, they have about 2 posts right now. They're just getting started. So tag them in things, help them out as they grow up to the RSO. Of course, Emily and Sean, you guys are doing something very, very spectacular there, keeping Emory University students healthy while going through college life. So I appreciate it. I appreciate what they're doing to help the young minds out there and to really do their thing. It's spectacular, and you guys are doing it, of course. Now, coming up next, it's time. It's time to do my gaming review. I know a lot of people enjoy the real talks. Stay tuned, y'all. We're going to have some real talks, some real conversations this week of podcasting. But in today's episode, it is Monday, and you guys know 2 games that came out this past week as I hit the microphone. Of course, Horizon Forbidden West came out, and Cyberpunk 2077 had a surprise come out with a new patch up. And I played both. I bought both and I played both. But first, we're going to save the best for last with being Horizon Forbidden West, because I'm going to quickly talk about Cyberpunk 2077 real quick. With the patch 1, of course, I believe in the number T. Hopefully it's right, but the patch number 1.39, that may not be the right number. But of course, you guys, that patch up has been patched up with Cyberpunk 2077. And I think CD Projekt Red finally gets the credit it deserves. Of course, if you guys don't know, of course, CD Projekt Red has been stumbling with this game, being Cyberpunk 2077. When it first came out, there was a whole bunch of bugs into it, whole bunch of mismatched clicks, so many things wrong with the game when it first came out, and a lot of people was upset. Their stock price has dropped. But within the past week of last week, of course, Cyberpunk 2077 hit a patch up for the next gen console. So if you do have the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series S or X, you're in luck. You guys get to play the new patch up with the new upgrade. And I was very, very happy about the upgrade. Of course, this game is retailing right now for $25 on the next gen consoles. You can't beat it. The offer will end, I believe it said March 3rd is when the offer will end for that $25. I took advantage of it simply because I always wanted to play this game, but after hearing so many bad reviews about the game, I could not dabble into it, and I didn't pay $60 when it first came out because there were so many things wrong with it. So I skipped it, and now they have come back with the surprise of being the patch ups. And let me tell you, this game, and a lot of people are going to say it, and I'm going to say it too, it's going to sound like a broken record here, T, but people were saying this, and I'm saying that this should have been the game that they released day 1. This game, so far, I haven't seen that many bugs. Now, I did see one bug, right? I was playing the mission called The Rescue. We were rescuing a female, and there was a bag of stash for me to collect. It was up in the air, and I walked around, this bag was just floating in the air. So it was a bug, right? It happens. And I noticed it, but I wasn't like, oh, this is horrible now because of that bug. There's not many big bugs that I've experienced while playing this game this weekend, and I'm super happy. I'm very, very pleased about the game. I do like the first-person style of the game, because it does remind me of like a Call of Duty when you're shooting the baddies and you're shooting people down and you're going stealth mode. It does kind of remind me of the Call of Duty era. I do love Call of Duty, so that it kind of reminded me of that. And of course, the driving mechanics is pretty smooth on the PlayStation 5 controller. A lot of people did say, And I agree with it. It's hard to drive your vehicle in first person in this game. I switched it to third person when I'm driving my vehicle because to me, that's just easier. A lot of people love that first person experience, and it feels like you're driving the car by yourself inside the game. I bumped into so many things trying to do it. I said, oh no, I need to switch to third person because I suck at this. And I know in the game, there's a couple of chase scenes in the game where you're driving, you're chasing people in your vehicle. So I think with that is best suited for me in third person. The story is fantastic. I do like it how you're able to create your character. One game, and I know this is PG show T, but I'm going to mention this because it got me off guard. You can, when you customize if you are getting a male character, you can customize your manhood. Although I'm trying to keep it PG, you can customize your manhood in the game. I was super shocked by this because I just never thought that this would happen in the game, but it did. I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, this is happening. I get to customize the manhood, big or small. So it was very interesting. I mean, I just was shocked, and I laughed really loud. I was in my house when I played it. Laughed really loud because I just was not expecting that. I just was expecting something else. So but of course I was able to customize my character, and it's, that the customization of your character is really, really fun. You get to add your own personal styles to your character, and the story is just great. So I honestly think CD Projekt Red did something right. Again, I haven't seen any bugs. I have to give this game an 8 out of 10 now because simply this game is just spectacular. They fixed it and the price was right. $25 for a potential new game that I just never, it's new to me because I haven't played it. And it favors the people too, because if you did buy this game for $60 when it first came out, I believe they do offer a free upgrade. So you're not spending so much money and you're giving a game a second chance. And CD Projekt Red, if you're somehow watching the show or listening to the show, congratulations, right? Because it took you a whole year. Like I say, I hate that this happened to you. I wish this was the game you released day one, so that way you wouldn't have not lost a lot of money. But it is what it is. You guys woke up and you saw the potential of the game and you fixed it. And I'm not saying that this game is 100% fixed because every game is not 100%, right? But this is better than what we got, let's say 2 years ago when the game first got released and it was garbage. So, you did something, and I really do hope CD Projekt Red does collect their money back from this project, and I really do hope that they learn from this project so when they make more games like this in the future, they know what to expect in future games. So congratulations to CD Projekt Red. Of course, Guerrilla Games, Horizon Forbidden West. Let's talk about it real quick, y'all. This game here is spectacular. This game has gotten gold, and I see why they went gold, because this game is spectacular. Of course, Aloy is spectacular in this game. The 60 frames per second in this game is fantastic. The character development has been really, really well. So I am super ecstatic that this game was excellent. Of course, a lot of people did cheat their way to get the game. Of course, a lot of people are paying $60 for the PlayStation 4 version and then upgrading it to the PlayStation 5 version. If you have it, you can just get the game for $70. I be honest, I kind of just paid for the game for $70 because my PlayStation 4 in my house, I put that up somewhere in my office. So I just didn't want to go through all the trouble and doing that. And I just, I wasn't thinking. And now I know I should have done that because it would have been $20 difference there. Or actually, no, about $10 difference there. So, it is what it is. It happens. But Horizon Forbidden West, let me tell you guys, this game is fantastic. The character development is good. I died so many times in this game because I have it on normal mode. I never like to have a game on easy because if it's too easy, it's not as fun. When I have it on normal mode and I'm challenged a little bit in the game, it's so much fun. Of course, I like the mechanic style of it. I like the bow and arrow. The frostbite bombs are fantastic. The newer machines that you're fighting is fantastic. I just beat the level of like the big snake on the first part of the game. That part wasn't too hard, but we got it done. I do like it. And, while we're on Black excellence and Black empowerment, obviously, for the show, I do like it how Guerrilla Games made us look fantastic in this game. And when I mean by us, I meant all the Black characters, African American characters in this game. I don't know if they're like from Africa or not in the game. I don't know. They're not in detail of that, but you can tell the Black characters as well as the white characters, but the Black characters had it to where the facial features match what we look like in real life, and that's fantastic. You have the African tribal culture within the outfits and the character style, the Black character style of Horizon Forbidden West that I love the most, and how the way the lighting of it makes us look more shiny, more more shiny, more blossomed up, more like, wow, melanin is in this character, you know? So I do like that, because typically I played games where they make the Black characters in the game like black, like super dark, ashy, and it's just not a great representation of us in our culture. So for me to see the Black character development in Horizon Forbidden West, and the sun hits us really well. They have the facial features, our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lips, our beautiful nose, our beautiful eyes, our beautiful ears, our beautiful hair culture. Of course, I've got the Aloy's friend, I forgot his name in the game, it's blanking out on me, but how the way he has locks and it's wrapped around in kind of like an African style, that appeals so much to me, because that is my culture, my ancestry, my culture, and my beliefs. So I really enjoyed that Guerrilla Games got us right in this game. I know there's another guy who talked about it, and he was in awe when he saw the character development. Not to say that the white characters in Horizon Forbidden West doesn't look great. They look amazing as well. But me being, of course, obviously an African American of my Black culture, I like it when games represent our culture really well, and they don't be stereotypical about it. They really dive in and they really create these characters. So this game is fantastic. Honestly, I can't say too much about this game. You can read about it in Element Magazine's issue this month. This game is spectacular. This game is well worth the $70 if you're picking it up for PlayStation 5. I really do hope people can play this game on PlayStation 5 very soon. I'm just one of the lucky ones who got a PS5. I really do wish everyone had one so they can experience this. But this is a game that you do not want to sleep on. This is a game you do not want to pass up on. This is the game you need to play of the year. And this game might win Game of the Year award in 2022 later on in the year. I believe that this game will win Game of the Year, because this is the Game of the Year. No other game that's coming out this year that I know of will outbeat Horizon Forbidden West. This is a game you have to play. So you have to play it. You have to dabble on into it for sure. Next news announcements for the last minute of K.L.P Aftermath with your host. Of course, the 2022 NBA All-Star Game has been fantastic. Stephen Curry earns MVP after demolishing record of the most three-pointers in a single game. Of course, the Golden State Warriors guard Stephen Curry is having the worst three-point shooting season of his career. But during Sunday's NBA All-Star Game in Cleveland, I did see this because every NBA superstar was there. You had LeBron James, you had Michael Jordan, you had Magic Johnson, you had so many great players out there for sure. Of course, he reminded everyone of why he's the greatest shooter of all time, suiting up for Team LeBron. Of course, Stephen Curry was on LeBron James's team for the All-Star weekend. Curry was in vintage form, scoring 50 points and knocking down 60 to 27.3 pointers in every way imaginable, setting a new All-Star record in the process. Of course, his thrilling performance in Team LeBron's, 163 to 160 team over Team Durant earned him the 2022 Kobe Bryant NBA All-Star Game weekend. The first time in his receiving the honor of this 8th career at the All-Star game. So all I can say about that is, Team LeBron, congratulations. I didn't see the whole game, right? I just saw snippets on YouTube and, media was talking about it because, we were busy. We were doing a lot of things this weekend. But of course, All-Star weekend is always fun, right? Because I know Shaquille O'Neal did this comedy thing this weekend too. It was the All-Star comedy show that he did there in Cleveland, and to see that the love and the ambition for Stephon Curry, he really brought it to the All-Star game weekend. So again, Steph Curry, congratulations in honor of the late Kobe Bryant for winning the MVP All-Star at the All-Star game. So of course, looking at T, he's saying my time is about up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's show. Please remember to stay tuned for later this week because we have so many podcasts coming out this week. And also, if you're listening to us on YouTube, Daily Motion, and Spotify video, thank you. Leave a comment and subscribe to our YouTube and Daily Motion accounts at K.L.P Entertainment. If you're listening to us on audio platforms, thanks again. Share it with your friends, letting you guys know that we were live on the radio here today. So that's going to wrap it up here, K.L.P Aftermath, for Monday, February 21st. Hopefully you guys had a great, fantastic weekend. And please be sure to stay tuned later on this week. This has been the K.L.P Aftermath with your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas. I've been K.L.P Kennedy Lucas. Stay safe, stay swanky.